Misfit, what we eating tonight?
Star Pizza.
That's crazy.
Let's talk about Star Pizza. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Star Pizza. 3 locations. Tomorrow's Friday. Go get your buffet on. Towns and I went today. He is wearing a muumuu of Star Pizza and dancing like a Teletubby.
A giant Teletubby.
Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monceaux, and this is Cats, the Cougar After Thoughts Show. That's Brad Towns. Michael Batton is heading home after being at the game. He will be on in just a little bit. Cougars win 27-0.
We're
Let's
back.
bitch about how terrible it was, and the offense is this and this and that. Cincinnati and Nebraska are in a deadlock at 10-10. UCF is in a deadlock with Jacksonville State at 10-10. UAB is barely beating Alabama State. Wisconsin's up 10-0 over Miami of Ohio. Rutgers beat Ohio by 3 points. I mean, for as bad a football as you have seen all last weekend, and then if you watched any other games tonight, the U of H game was kind of clean.
It's fantastic.
The offense did some good things. The defense did some great things. You've really got to feel good about your depth in the defensive backfield at linebacker and on defensive line. Brad, what were your first thoughts about what you saw today? And give us a shout out to Section 12X.
Section 12X, right here, baby. Hope everything went well for Frederick over there. I saw he got a little hype from Eddie yesterday.
How about that?
Nice little shout out. That's a hell of a damn commercial right there. But yeah, go visit Section 12X. They support us, and they'll support you too with some sweet gear. And if you're not small like me, then the lids fit.
The lids fit.
But tonight in the football game, offense looked exactly like I thought it would. And defense was dramatically better than what I expected. Wow, that defense looked great. I don't care who we played. That was the first shutout to open the season since 1989. We've played some dogs, and we've had some good teams. And, shutout is shutout. That's playing ball right there. So I was really happy with that. Honestly, the best news of the night is Tanner Koschel he went back in the game after what looked like a pretty nasty little hit on the leg,
and then got another one. He got up after that catch he made and kind of
I think he just fell down on it and was like, oh shoot, okay.
All right, I'm gonna do something real quick. Hang on, Towns. I didn't want us to screw that up. I wanted that to just have its own moment.
Just let it sit and marinate by itself.
We don't get that too often. We gotta have it while we can. I thought obviously Koschel was the first guy Tanner was looking for, and Koschel showed you exactly what he's shown me all fall, and that is he's not a tight end. That's a receiver. That's a very good receiver.
Well, I mean, today's modern tight end is a receiver first, and then can do some blocking. He did look very Gronk-like out there, a little bit.
He struggled blocking a little bit. The offensive line struggled blocking a little bit on run plays. That'll get cleaned up. You had 4 new starters for half the game. Pancake came out at center. Matthew Wyckoff slid over. Mackenzie Agnello went in at right guard. So you had some different offensive line looks. They played a little bit at left tackle. And the offensive line looked like what you would expect, a bunch of guys that really just have never played together. So I thought for the most part, it was pretty good. They were a little sloppy penalty-wise on the offensive line.
You know, I was thinking about that as it was going along, and I was thinking, dang, we've had a lot of penalties. And I looked it up and was like, I think for the night we had 6.
Yeah, a couple of snap issues.
That tells you where we came last year, how much better we did penalty wise, because the year before last, our first year in the Big 12, we averaged, I think, 9 penalties a game, almost 10.
Yeah.
And so 6,
I got
and
yelled
we
at.
still feel like it's too much. That's much better.
That is much better. I am in Memorial Herman's new suite in the end zone facility, or in the end zone. This is pretty nice. They did not invite me. I just kind of came in. Scott, we're talking about my excellent perspective, not my issues with English. We're going into like hour 18 of my day. And frankly, with most of it being English, I think I'm doing a good job. Who started at center? Pancake started at center. Wyckoff came in, but Pancake was your starter. He struggled tonight. He had a couple of snap issues. He had several penalties. Got blown up a few times, but I think more than anything, the offensive line gets better from week 1 to week 2. We'll just see. We'll see what goofy crap happens at Rice, which always seems to happen. That banger Nebraska offense has scored 13 points. Dana Holgerson
Get it done with
crushing it
with
Timu Mahomes.
Yeah, Timu Mahomes. Oops. Well, news just now hit the wire right now. Houston running back Rashawn Sanford is out for the season with a knee injury per coach Willie Fritz.
Whoa. That is not what I was led to believe. I did not see Sanford on the sideline tonight.
Well, he had surgery.
That is
yesterday.
massive. Okay. That's probably why.
That's
so that is a huge blow.
Yes.
So
damn it.
Sean was at practice Monday, and he looked like a guy that was just kind of, going to not press like a minor issue. It did not look like something that was season ending. That is quite surprising. I really did not expect that one.
That sucks. That I hope he comes through it okay and nothing lingers. But that sucks.
Yeah. Accurate.
I mean, because we've seen you see those knee surgeries. Sometimes they go off without a hitch and everything's great. But then, there's that chance that everything changes. Alton McCaskill was never the same after his knee surgery. No matter where he was.
And I don't know if we should even be talking like that. We don't know what the issue was. Or I don't. So that is unfortunate. So I do not know how that's going to go. We'll probably get some more information. Man, that stinks. I thought Stacy Snead ran pretty well tonight as your third option. I thought Jamarian did some good things. And I thought Dean Connors did. SFA kind of loaded up. on the run. But yeah, man, you caught me off guard on that one, Brad.
Well,
I was not expecting that.
Saw it,
Yeah,
just saw
I
it hit
saw it.
Twitter.
Yeah. Talk us through some of the defensive standouts that you saw tonight. How about Jalen Garner? We told you for the last 2 weeks, Jalen Garner is coming on. He's coming on. He had 6 tackles, 5 solo, half a tackle for loss. Will James in that defensive backfield, 2 tackles for loss.
I mean, I thought the entire defensive backfield played extremely well. I mean, the game. Maybe people would have been in a better mood if we had 2 pick sixes that we dropped. Things would have brightened people up a little bit. But I thought they played outstanding. I thought what's number 10? That's what I have written down. I don't know anybody's name.
Travian McCutcheon.
Yeah, I thought he played really well. I thought he was all over the place.
For sure.
I just like the speed and the intensity of the team going sideline to sideline. And then, of course, I mean, it stood out last year because it had been a problem in the past. But open field tackles, one-on-one, they're doing a job. And if they don't bring them down immediately, they're holding them up at least for everybody else to get there. I thought they did fantastic.
Yeah, and let's stress one game. Mm-hmm. The defense played well, but don't go crazy on it.
Well, I don't.
Did what they did.
I don't look at either.
And I'm not talking to you. Defense. I'm talking to all of us.
Oh no! I mean,
group therapy.
No, the nature of U of H fan is either this is the greatest defense in the history of football, or it's the worst. And this is already the worst offense. It's going to be barely above last year.
Well,
because
I think
we can't do
that's
anything
every fan base. I was coming up this series. I went down on the field for the last 7 or 8 minutes of the game, talked with Batton. Actually ended up talking with Eddie for about 10 minutes, and we had a really good conversation. We're going to get stuff out of that very soon. But I was walking back up the stairs, and the team was kind of dispersing after the handshake. CJ Douglas walked over to the corner where I was going up, and his dad started shouting at him with a big smile on his face. You should have had 3. You should have had 3. He had the 1 interception late. He should have had 2 more, he thinks. I thought that was fun to see. Ryan, did we just play super vanilla on offense? My worry is on the line not getting 4th down conversions with 1 yard to go. Okay. Maybe the play calls could have been different. Maybe the line play could have been different. I think what you were doing is looking at different combinations. I mean, I believe, and I was going to deal with an issue right at the start of the game, so I did not see all of the first drive, but I believe Kobe Young started, which was not what we were expecting.
They threw a deep ball to him first play of the game.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I was walking on that side of the field. And so they were trying different combinations. There was a possession in the first half where the 3 wideouts were Kobe Young, Devin Williams, and Mekhi Muse. Kobe and Muse are kind of second team. Receivers are not really first team, second team. That kind of disperse how they do. But I just really think they were trying things because you knew you were going to win this game, but we need to figure out who our bona fide first and second teamers are. Willie we've talked about it a few times, but Willie hinted at it this week, is that these first 3 games, you're going to figure out who you are and what you have. You'll get an off week before you go to Oregon State, and I think that's where you'll solidify this is our starting unit, this is our backup unit, and these people are going to be third team or wherever. And I think that was kind of the most important thing. You got film on a lot of guys. And yeah, you missed some 4th downs. Yeah, some things weren't great, but then other things were. I thought Connor was a little shaky to start, throwing behind guys, but he cleaned it up. I thought some receivers had really good games. Amari Thomas had a quiet good game. You're going to struggle to keep that kid off the field because all he did was come in and deliver. He had 4 targets, 3 catches, 44 yards. I believe all three of his catches were first downs or touchdowns. Now, I'm not good at math, but that sounds like the kind of receiver you want. So I think for what your needs were, which is try out these guys on the line, see what receivers, what tight ends can block, what can't, who will. I mean, you didn't throw the ball to Stephon Johnson one single time tonight, as far as I can recall. Late in the game
on the near turnover.
See, they don't even count that in the stats, strangely enough. But yeah, you're right. They did throw to him, and I never saw a good replay of that. I don't know how they overturned it, but
it was down. It hit the ground.
Okay.
What I saw offensively, I saw one thing. The first thing that stood out is it looked exactly how I thought it would look with a brand new quarterback, brand new entire offensive line. It looked like guys weren't on the same page. It looked like timing was off. And then to compound that, they were pressing in the corners and going man to man, so that disrupts timing even more. And that's exactly what it looked like. You'd like to see more holes open up. You would also like to see running backs attacking the holes that were there, and didn't do a very good job of that early on. But this is 100% a work in progress. The number one, it's hard to get reps, or it's hard to simulate what goes on in the game, no matter what level of competition you're playing, until you actually get out and play that competition. And the offensive line, you don't get to verbally communicate a whole lot, but you have to play together to be familiar and have enough trust that you're going to do your job. I mean, that's the hardest thing in all of sports to do, is to trust your teammates, and that takes time. And a lot of players' biggest downfall is that they try to help out because it's a natural thing, instead of just focusing on your job and trusting your guy beside you is going to do his job. That's just what I see. That's what I see offensively. And as far as one thing we got to understand, no matter what, the offense that Willie's going to run is not going to be flashy. It's not going to be real pretty. He's going to try to control the game, and then make big plays where they are. I mean, technically, every single play that you run is drawn up to score. If everything works exactly the way it's supposed to, whenever you write it on the whiteboard, every single defender is accounted for. If you run it perfect, then you score a touchdown, no matter what. But the defense has say in it, and the offense has to be able to execute it.
So what I'm hearing is that you had 4 and sometimes 5 new offensive linemen, a new tight end, a new running back, a new quarterback. Kobe Young started. He's played 1 game. You had a lot of new parts. Yep. And the way the game is now, you don't tackle in fall camp. You just don't. You don't really go full pads but once or twice.
Yeah. And
it's all for the benefit of the student athlete. And with so many new parts and without simulating actual live competition, it's hard to figure it out. It's hard to know for sure that what you're doing is going to play out.
And we said it last week in our Sunday show, is that the football last week was ugly. The football right now is being played by everybody in the country. It's not pretty. It is going to be who can scratch out wins. And, at the end of the day, this program has to get back winning. I mean, we won 8 games.
Learning to win. Yeah.
We won 8 games.
Overachieved.
Yes. I mean, I don't care who you beat. You've got to learn how to win. I mean, let's go back to the beginning of the Kelvin Sampson era. You had to learn how to win. And anybody you beat is good. That's good. Wins are few and far between at U of H right now to overlook and say, oh, well, it was just an FCS game. No, it's a win. Let's put that on the board and move forward.
Please stand by for a new sponsor. The Ritz brings you two idiots talking about sports. Or two idiots talking sports. That doesn't make sense. I am very pleased with what you saw. I think what you can do to build on that next week at Rice. Going to Rice is just the biggest crapshoot for U of H every time it happens. You go back to 2008, they score 56 on you. 2010, you lose. I mean, a lot of 2 years ago, you give up 28 points. You damn near gave up 35 there in the first half and have to come back like crazy to take them to overtime before Dana Holgerson loses. If this team can build on what they did today, they get an extra day to prepare and go to Rice and put a solid day together. I think they win it. And you're 2-0 going into that Friday night game with Colorado. And I think you're exactly where you want to be. But you've got to take this, learn from it, and keep building.
Here, let's please address this.
I don't think anybody knows the answer to this.
He's alive.
You can't. A knee has got to swell up, and then that swelling has to come down, and you figure it out. I think we'll have an update on Monday, but I would guarantee it's not going to be a definite for sure one way or the other. Just my opinion. Unless he's out for the season, which Willie would tell us, but that's pretty much the only real information he's going to give us. When they get into conference play that third week, they have to release all the medical information, doubtful, questionable, out, only in conference games. They don't have to do it for non-conference.
Right.
So that third game, Colorado will know things early in the week, I believe on Mondays, as we get our first report.
So guys, keep your powder dry on the sports books. Wait till the injury reports come out.
Yes. And that's been
oh yeah.
I really like the music I found for that. Thank you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not going to get a strike.
No, it's we're good on that.
Okay.
I looked for sure.
You got it cleared from Jack Horner catalog.
Yeah, the GoCoogs intern was on that all day for me. Good job, GoCoogs intern.
See, man, you didn't even know who Jack Horner is, man.
I don't know who that is.
That was Burt Reynolds in Boogie Nights.
I did not know that.
Random fact.
So 5 people have texted me that Sanford is out. Y'all, I'm doing a show. We're talking about it. I promise.
Hey, we weren't there to hear it, but JD had it posted immediately.
Exclusive is what I've heard. This seems like a 6-6 or 7-5 type of team. Yes.
Stop the count. Done. Fast forward to December. Let's go. I'll take it.
We can't use Muse as a wide receiver, not dynamic enough. I mean, if you don't think Mekhi Muse is dynamic, I just don't know what to say. I think he's a very good receiver. The pass over the middle should have been a touchdown. He did his job. The fade route to the corner, I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't have called that. That wouldn't have been what I did. Stefan Johnson, Tanner Koziol, Harvey Broussard, but not Muse. Just being honest. That's my opinion.
It felt like in that series of plays, it felt like we were trying to do something because Koziol stayed in the block.
Yes.
On 2 of those plays. And I was like, oh, that's odd. I figured he would be running the seam or maybe hitting a corner or something like that and put his height to use. But that's why it feels like they were trying something. I mean, if you're going to experiment, now's the time to do it.
And I think Stefan Johnson was supposed to cut inside and got caught up, and it looked like a pick play, and that's why he got called. But we'll see. We're going to bring in Michael Batton. I see dogs.
Yeah, I always got my dogs with me.
How many you
got? We got 3 total. This black one, technically mine. This German Shepherd is my parents, but she likes to sleep in here with me. So,
what are their names?
The German Shepherd's name Ellie, and my dog, I named him Sly, SLY. It's probably one you maybe never heard before, but
not on a dog.
Yeah, he fits his name well. He's sneaky, kind of quiet, so he's really grown into his name there. But no, man. Just jumping into the game. Honestly, heard some things y'all were talking about while I was back here backstage, and I just want to say, like, the defense, and y'all might have already touched on this. Seems like they picked up where they left off from last year. Obviously, new DC, they came ready to play. They had the energy that it's just so contagious. And seeing Kentrell Webb, I feel like was really anchoring that defense, and he's one of the most fiery persons I've ever played with. And he was all over the field, and the defense dominated. And looking at the stats, they don't really jump out at you, but that's usually what happens when defense dominates a game. The stats, they're just not out there that much because they're getting a lot of 3 and outs. Some of the new corners and stuff played really well. Number 21 obviously had an opportunity to get a pick 6, and I think that's a play he needs to make. It's game 1. You want to make a name for yourself. You make those plays. Nonetheless, he played really well, and I was impressed. We kind of spoke after the game, kind of lost some star power, obviously, with AJ Halsey, Jeremiah Wilson, but it seems like they have a lot of depth there, and some guys that can play really well, and I'm excited to see more of them. Obviously, I kind of do have an offensive mind. I played quarterback actually for most of my career, for those that don't know.
Thinks he's a quarterback.
Yeah. So obviously I like looking at the offense a lot too. And to me, obviously everyone's comparing it to last year. It looks like a more well-maintained offense that has a better flow and a better identity. I think Connor Wigman, he was very composed. Obviously, he scrambled really well tonight. I think that was something that really stood out to me. There's a few times where it looked like he was about to be sacked, and he somehow got out of there, extended the play, extended drives, and that's huge, and that's going to be major as the season goes on. But I will say that, in my opinion, if I'm a coach, I'm not happy unless I'm walking out of there with 40+ points. And maybe that was, Willie Fritz's provocative. He did kind of put the 2s in there, arguably pretty early. But I think a team like that against SFA, them holding us to 27 points is almost a win in my books for them.
Rashawn Sanford tweeted, "Delayed but not denied. God has a plan for me. I'll see you soon. #unbreakable." I don't know if you heard that. Rashawn Sanford is out for the year with a knee injury. And
yeah, man, I was really looking forward to watching him today. I did not know that until now. I was definitely discussing it with some of the people. We were saying, well, he must be hurt. Man, that's so unfortunate. He's such a great runner.
and a good guy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love Ray Sean. Love all those guys, but like you said, Ray Sean's a really good dude. He's battled a lot. He's battled a knee injury before, and I've never seen someone recover from a knee injury like that and be able to still move as well as he did. And what a season he had last year. And I'm sure he was ready to break out. But there's reasons for everything. I think God's gonna take well care of him, and like he tweeted, it's God's plan.
Yeah. Jeremiah Wilson went to Florida State. He's going to start against Alabama this weekend, but he changed his name. He goes by Jerry Wilson now, which, okay, that's cool. Just never heard that one.
Hey, if you knew him, I mean, he's one of those guys. He's just off the wall in some of the best and worst ways possible. So all power to him. I'm happy for him, and I hope to see him all out this year.
It seems like as much as people are transferring and changing schools, they're changing names left and right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the first time I'm seeing this. That's pretty interesting. I don't know. Did he legally change it? That would be something to look into.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, didn't Zion pick up another name?
Yeah, I saw the last name. I kind of saw that in the corner of my eye. Is that correct? He's got a different last name going on or something?
Yeah, he added Gramillion, which is a salute to his grandmother.
Okay.
I don't have all the information on it, but that's what it is. It's just to honor his grandmother.
Yeah, I mean, I saw him in the game. I heard them saying the last name. I'm like, did we get a new quarterback?
It happened in the middle of fall camp. Like, I had a roster that said Chris, and then they gave me another one, and I was like, I'm good. I have one. And they're like, no, there were some changes, and that was really the change, was his last name. Have y'all seen this? AJ Halsey has been suspended for the first half of the LSU Clemson game Saturday because of a fight last year in the BYU game.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But why is that all of a sudden coming out now?
Maybe it was always a thing, and they're just reminding us, like, hey, the game's coming up. By the way, you're also going to be suspended. Because I remember them talking about that. Yeah, they were saying AJ's being dumb. He's going to get suspended. It'll carry over to next year. But I actually completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Connor says LSU just found out today. Batton, close your ears. Fuck Clemson. LSU by 50.
Hey, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Somebody said he got married, meaning Zion Chris. He did. Zion Chris Gramillion. He did get married this summer. And so congrats to him. So,
Like
Batton, you said something.
Travis Swift, Kelsey.
Batton, you said something earlier. You called him Connor Wakeman.
Yeah, I had a feeling I might have butchered his name right there.
No, you got it right. We have been calling him Connor Wegman since December.
Wigman.
And they were calling him Wigman in the press box. And I was like, what kind of Yankee ass pronunciation? But it's correct. In the pronunciation, it's Wigman. We've been saying Wegman.
You've been saying it wrong. Come on.
I have for 9 months. So that's on me.
I meant to mention this to y'all last time we were on the podcast, and I really should have interviewed Connor, but I actually played against him in 2023 when I was at University of Louisiana Monroe, and I think we lost like 52-10. He did well, and it was good to see him out there again. And I was gonna ask him if he happened to remember me at all, but he was a good scrambler then too, man, and still is now. That's gonna be good to have for the offense.
You played that game, obviously, at Kyle Field, correct?
Yes, sir.
What did you think about playing there?
It was a great experience, obviously. But I played at 4 different SEC schools, and I would say that was probably the third best experience. I would say Alabama was number 1, Texas was number 2, and A&M was number 3. Now, to give them the benefit of the doubt, there was a rain delay, but it was 93% capacity. At least that's what we were told. It's a little different. You don't got the cheerleaders, you got the whatever they're called.
Easy now.
Milkmen.
No, hey, I got nothing against it. I'm just
I do.
saying it how it is. And it was still awesome though. And one thing I remember very vividly was, we were playing decent in the run game, but I remember Connor threw a deep pass right over the middle, fairly early into the game. And it was probably their first explosive play, and just hearing the crowd erupt. Because obviously when you're on defense at an away game, the crowd's pretty quiet for their offense. But when he completed that pass, I mean, it gives me chills now, honestly, just thinking about it. So, playing in a stadium like that, it's different, and it's pretty cool.
Last year I was looking through some photos this week, and I came across one where 44 took out the new 44. There's you tackling Dean Connors last year.
Wow.
And I didn't realize we had this photo. Mario Puente took it for us.
Nice.
But that's you taking him down. There's Kentrell Webb in the photo as well.
I
thought that was just a photo.
I can't exactly remember that play. I'm trying to think.
You won.
I laid his ass out,
Yes, you did.
You gotta earn that number, and I ain't gonna give it to you easy. So, he's tough and good dude, and I guess that kind of brings me to my next point. I feel like the run game was kind of mediocre today. I mean, we racked up a lot of yards, I guess, and the average was decent, but I was just hoping to see an explosive play down the middle or something like that.
You didn't really see it.
Didn't see that, and I could be a lot of different reasons, but I was hoping to see that, and explosive plays in general, we didn't really see that, and that's what kind of worries me. You're going against an FCS opponent. There should have been a bomb touchdown. I mean, it always happened against us when we played against these SEC schools, and I think, I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, it is 27 points good enough, or I just think 40 points is just.
You fell short on 2 4th and 1s. You kicked some field goals where you probably, there were opportunities. You averaged 14 points a game last year. This is progress. This is a step.
I look at it as like, maybe, okay, remember the Rice game, right? It was 33-7 and we felt good about that. But, I just look, like I said, it looks a lot more like they have an identity, and they have a quarterback who can, protect the ball, scramble well, make the smart play. So I have a lot more faith in this offense, obviously, than I did last year. But 27 points. I don't know.
But you're still going to live and die with the offensive line. And if they're better next week and going forward, you have opportunities for these skill position guys to do something. Yep. Stephon Johnson did not catch a ball.
Nope.
And you shut a team out. You basically leaned on a tight end for most of the night. But that's just how it goes. 1 second. Star Pizza. Get you some Star Pizza. Section 12X. Get you some 12X. You look like a fucking moron.
Yeah, I told him I'm wearing the shirt, man. I'm repping it.
I've never seen a box of 2 shirts as big as the box he brought today.
Oh no, it was a tiny box. It was smaller than, it was about the size of your little bitty baby pizza box.
I had a little bitch pizza today. I'm going to be honest.
You did. It was sad.
Well, I don't know if it was sad.
Like you cooked it in an easy bake oven, little bitty tiny baby pizza.
Shit, pizza's pizza, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Batton hasn't had pizza in 4 years, but
you look like a bagel, big little bagel bite.
We
I
only
don't know
eat steak
if it's like a
around here.
That's my boy. I had it just once this week. That's disappointing, but we'll get it. We'll work on it. Towns' pizza was in fact larger than mine. I guess I can admit to that. I'm going to pull it up. I think I have it. It was a little bitch pizza. I'm going to be honest.
And you
I've
still
done
didn't finish it.
better. I ate enough. I mean, that is kind of sad.
It's a
Well,
little
be
too
okay.
cheesy.
Oh no, I think the cheese was just right. It's made well. I got those cup pepperonis that I love. Let's go through some comments real quick. 1-0, get better every week. Good debut game for so many new faces. It's game one. Let's not overreact, folks. Good for you, Jeb. Biggest growth
Hey,
comes
Jeb.
between week 1 and 2. Jeb!
Jeb talking people off the ledge like me.
Between week 1 and week 2.
He's absolutely right, and that is a good point. It is hard to make judgment on a team in week 1, obviously, but there is obviously how y'all saw last year when we played UNLV and then we go to Oklahoma and almost beat them. And Oklahoma wasn't the best team last year, but they're still a good team. I guarantee you, they would have put up a fight against UNLV, maybe beat them, whatever. That is interesting. I think we'll have a lot more to talk about next week when we see this team play.
Why do you think that is a fact that you get better, so much better between that week and that week? Is it the film? Is it the reps?
I just think it's more of a mental thing, right? You have all these expectations, and then you kind of get brought back down to earth. And I think when you're brought back down to earth, then you can finally just play the game. You go into week 1 and you're, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it doesn't happen. At least from my experience last year, that's how I came into the UNLV game, and it was like we have to win. We didn't. Obviously, this is different. They won, but I think it'll still kind of have that same effect on them. That'll kind of, okay, boom, week 1, we're playing, brought back down to earth. All this hype that's been building up, it's out the way. Now we can just play ball and see who and what we're really about.
Yeah, like last year, my only complaint about the defense last year in the first game was too aggressive, over pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everybody did a good job of getting to the ball, but it was so fast and everybody pushing so hard, just overrunning plays. And, as the season went along, different lines of attack, angles changed and speed slowed down, and not playing out of control. And tonight we didn't have that. Last year it was just a work in progress. This year everything looked a lot more calm. Yeah, maybe that's just an opening day thing that a lot of teams are going to have to go through.
No, that's a great point. You're right. It seemed like last year we kind of came out with our head cut off, and there's some good things about that, and obviously there's some bad things. Now UNLV was a really good team last year, and we walked into something that maybe we didn't expect, but I think you're right to say that this team looks a lot more calmer and in control and have an identity about what they're doing, and I think that's very important and very hopeful for the team moving forward.
I was really surprised at how they came out, and knowing how many people changed from last year, mm-hmm. and knowing that you have a new coordinator, how similar it looked to that defense last year.
No doubt. I was very happy to see that. That DC is a smart guy. I think he relates to the players well, and seems like he got them rolling. So it's I think it's going to be another great year for the defense. If that's my one prediction on the show right now after week 1, again, it's still way too early, but I have a good feeling about this defense.
So you played last year. It was the first year that the teams could use those tablets. They used the Microsoft tablets. today I saw Austin Armstrong bring that whole defensive staff together around a tablet and look at plays after every single drive. And then they dispersed and went and worked with their units.
Yeah.
How did they use the tablets when you were there? And did you have anything like that similar?
Yeah, of course. I think early on we didn't use the tablets much. I think the DC was kind of getting used to it, but as the season went on, we started using it more, and you can see how helpful it is because you can watch as much film as possible on a team, and that's always going to help you. But they're also scheming something new every week. So when they come out with something that we haven't seen before, and it's working, and we're kind of having a hard time against it, well, we can pull up that iPad and look at exactly what they're doing. And the great thing about that is once we figure that out, they can't really do anything else about it because they can't really make it. They can make, small adjustments, but for the most part, they're going to do what they were scheming that week. And we can just go and look at the iPad and be like, okay, well, this is what they're going to do. This is how we're going to stop it. For example, last year against TCU, they were doing a certain kind of pull, wide stretch run that they hadn't ran yet this season, maybe but once, but we just weren't prepared for it. And I remember him pulling up the iPad and showing us what the hell was going on because we were a little confused what we were seeing and how to attack it because we hadn't practiced it. And he kind of broke it down, showed us how to attack it, and started blowing it up. And that's what the iPads are for.
Yeah.
It's usually for like, hey, this is something that we haven't prepared for. Let's see how they're running it. And then, maybe if a guy is just messing up something we had prepared for, and you gotta be like, look, this is what we were talking about. And then boom, you can move forward from there.
Y'all keep me updated on this Cincinnati, Nebraska thing.
Third and two.
Well, I didn't mean
Cincy driving.
Commenters, but yeah. Let's look at some comments again. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are killing it tonight. There's actually some very good comments that is really surprising me. And then there's this. The playoff push starts today.
Hey.
Thank you, Starnes. There's Starnes for you. Little Muppet-looking motherfucker. Appreciate you joining in, as always. You're my favorite former GoCoogs intern, not the other guy. Brad Towns, fat guy in a little coat.
Okay, I'll take it.
I like it. Willie said in his presser the offensive line played at a C level.
Sure.
I think that's probably correct.
And he's probably being nice.
Yeah, I don't think he's happy with what he saw, especially out of the center position, to be honest. I don't think Pancake played his best game. I think he struggled a lot. And,
Would you say it was more so the running game or the passing game?
For sure, the running game. They struggled completely.
I just had to be sure because I didn't see too many sacks. If maybe but one, he had one coming to his blind side.
Yeah, there was one on his blind side, and then a couple of plays later, he dropped the ball. Wigman dropped the ball, is what we were told in the press box. The ESPN feed is so far behind, I can't even pretend to watch it. And so I didn't see any replays. But
one thing that it seemed like I thought they did a good job of pass blocking for the most part, but I also thought Wigman moved in the pocket really well. He looked like he felt pressure and moved.
Absolutely.
Moved his feet, was able to buy himself, another beat or two to be able to get a throw off. Whereas in the past, we might have struggled to either run or panic. As soon as your eyes come down, you're done, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you're stopped scanning out in the field, it's pretty much over. You got to haul ass and run.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he did a good job. It seemed like, he stayed in the pocket, which is also a very underappreciated skill, right? you know, a lot of people, they just start running. They don't let the play develop. It seemed like he was letting the play develop, stepping up in the pocket. And then, you know, once they seemed like maybe there was no one open, he would get out and make something of it. And, you know, he would make some moves. And, you know, I was very impressed with that. And that's a very underrated skill that not many people are able to do. You know, stay in the pocket, move around, but still keep your head up and make some throws or get out. Um, it's good to see that. Absolutely.
Cincinnati sold their home game to Kansas City, which invited all these Nebraska people in, and then just pissed away this game with an interception. Screw you, Cincinnati. What's on the little bitch pizza anyway? So it's pepperoni and onions. If I could do it how I want to do it, it'd just be onions. We don't need any of that other stuff. We can just eat onion only pizza. But people seem to get weird about it. But it's the one way to guarantee that nobody eats your pizza.
That is true.
Nobody's
Ain't nobody touching that bullshit.
your onion only pizza. How was the crowd tonight, Ryan? So where we sit, we can't see the home side. But it was what you'd expect on a Thursday night against an FCS team going into a holiday weekend. The student section looked pretty good. They had passed out about 9,000 tickets. I would say about 7,000 showed up, which is actually really good. So, you know, just really happy with that. Batton, Jalen Garner. This guy has been coming on. What do you see from him as somebody that played that position?
Well, obviously I played with him, and he was my backup in a very good one. I'd say as a player, he's very patient, but when he makes a decision, he's super explosive with it and super powerful. I mean, he's a really good linebacker. I kid you not. He was third string Mike going into fall camp last year. They ended up moving him to Will. And I remember thinking like, okay, like I got to step in my game. Like this dude's legit. And I'm excited to see that he's out there starting and doing his thing. He's what I like to call, you know, a crash out. He's not afraid to just throw his body in there and blow someone up. He's got an enormous wingspan that I think he uses to his advantage well. He's got a really fire attitude, and I think he feels like he has a lot to prove. Just a overall really solid player, and I'm excited to see his growth this year. A good friend of mine, and I would just describe him as someone that's patient but very powerful. He's honestly more patient than me, and there's some good things and some bad things potentially about that. And I think he just needs to find a balance. But I think a lot of times being patient is actually mostly a good thing, and it's something, you know, I could work on myself. And so I see that from him a lot, and you know, I learned from him as well. Good player.
I talked to Armstrong last week, and he said, watch Jalen Garner. He's the guy that's coming on. He's had the best camp. And I was like, okay, that's who we're going to watch. And sure enough, I think he had a really standout
led the team tackles.
Performance. Yeah.
He was all over the field. And like I said, I put him in a real game, and the stats are going to go up. Like I said, a game like that, it's just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. But to even, you know, he had 6 tackles, I believe it was. That's a good stat line for that game.
Hey, whenever there's quote unquote only 51 tackles, that means you did a damn good job defensively because they ain't running any plays.
Exactly. It was straight dominance from the defense. I mean, I can't even think about a first down off the top of my head besides that last throw that they had with like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
You know, I guess the second, third teamers were in. So very dominant performance by them.
That's the first shutout to open the season since 1989.
Said 89, yeah.
So that's
how'd they do that year? Do you know?
Well, Andre Ware won the Heisman.
Yep.
Oh, that was that year?
So,
let's go.
Yeah.
History's in our favor.
Yeah. I mean, you can just pretty much.
Hey, why not us?
Connor.
Why not us?
Wigman for Heisman.
Wigmen. Yeah. So the first 4 weeks that year, Batton, they won 69-0, 36-7, 65-7, and 66-10.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
no
you
wonder
end the
they didn't.
season
No wonder they didn't want us
64-0.
in the big eight.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Was Chance Bryant the only true freshman that got reps tonight? If he got him, I never saw it. We were looking for him. I wanted to see him play. I didn't see him play. He was listed as the starter at Sam, but I didn't see him. So I don't know if they didn't run that, but I never saw him. I was looking for him. I can't think of another true freshman that played. I really thought that Jacquees Martin or Zaylen Cormier would play. I thought Austin Carlisle would have something in the game plan. I never saw him. You might have seen some freshmen on special teams, but we would have to get the participation chart to know that for sure. Actually, Brad is going to go and look. He's going to scout the entire film to make sure that
That's something I
those
probably
guys
won't do.
Oh, okay. Run blocking in the tier made me want to tear my eye out half the time I watched them. Well, it wasn't great. I would like to go back and look at, and I'm going to be interested to see what PFF says about Jason Brooks at left guard. I did not noticeably see anything bad. I saw Merriman get beat on the right side. I saw Wyckoff get beat at center. I saw Pancake get beat. And I saw the Baylor kid, still learning his name, how to say it. I saw him get beat, but I don't know that I ever saw Brooks get beat at left guard. But yeah, it's going to be, you're just going to have to deal with it. This is what it's going to be. They've got to grow. And it's going to be fun to watch, to be honest.
This is college football in the transfer era.
Yeah.
It's going to be ugly for a couple of weeks.
I mean, Batten, you're proof of this is that, with your first year or you're here, you had something new guys. How do you get all those guys on the same page?
Well, you got to have the right leaders in the room because it takes a certain maturity to say, look, okay, I'm going to, learn the playbook. I'm going to listen to what the coach says. I'm going to put the time in. And honestly, it's quite simple. But some people are just lacking in this maturity. And that's the tough thing with college because you got younger guys. I came in as a 6th year. I had figured this all out. Don't get me wrong, I was immature at one point too. So you got to have the right leaders saying the right things and showing through action first and through their word. Because with the portal and everything going on now, the best teams are going to be the ones that are player-led, not coach-led. The coach, give you the ingredients, but the players need to put it together, and you need to have the right leaders leading and guiding everyone else to the water. You got to make them drink. Right? You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, I think that's kind of up to the players to get everyone else, on the same page and clicking. So you got to just have the right guys leading, and hopefully everyone else can just follow along as quick as possible.
The Coug TV guys are getting a little big for the britches. I say it's time we crash this live. You go, boys, and get to work. What happened with Corey Platt Jr.? Did he get any snaps? I don't think he had a helmet. He was out there. He was dressed out, but I never saw him with a helmet. I don't think he got in. I think they're going to take it slower. When I talked to a couple of coaches a week ago, they said, yeah, we expect him to play in the SFA game, but they did not rush it. And I think that's probably the way to go. I think the slower you go, the more cautious you are, the better. But I thought the punter did well. Liam did have a big night. He had some big kicks. Everything he kicked was high, except for that shank, the second kick he had. And his last kick, he put his toes up, and that was not a pretty kick. His parents are here. They're from Australia. They were here. They got in yesterday.
That's cool.
I think, I'm not 100%, but I think today was his mother's first ever football game.
Oh, wow.
And because Liam never played before he came to Houston.
Right.
So, I think that's just a really cool story if I didn't just totally make it up, which is possible.
Well, it's a good story regardless.
It's a great story. And way to go, Liam and Liam's mom. I met his dad last year at Star Pizza, and he was hilarious. He was funny.
Yeah,
So,
I met his dad as well last year. He's good dude.
Good dude. Redshirt Austin, I can't see it. I just don't. Austin has to. They've got to figure out: is he a quarterback, or does he need to play somewhere else?
Well,
And
that's going to be tough. Obviously, Keyshawn Henderson's coming in next year.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? If Austin thinks that there's a better situation, and he figures that out before he's played his 5th game, I'm certain they'll redshirt him and let him go do his thing. They're going to be player friendly because that's the only way that you can develop a system where if guys go off to school and they don't find it to be the best situation, you can always welcome them back.
Yeah.
And that's how you win in the portal.
It's developing trust, and it goes both ways. And it has to. I think coaches have to make adjustments to that because it's no longer my way or the highway. It is because if it is, then double rods.
Your school.
Double rods, they're gone.
And I think Willie and staff have done a great. Like, this is probably my biggest compliment to them is that they have figured this out immediately. Is we might not be your first choice, but we're still going to be friends. And if you need to have a backup or you need to come back home, here we are. We're ready. And I think that's just the way to go, especially in a city like this where you've got so many players that go off. They go off to Arkansas. They go off to Ole Miss. They go off to Oklahoma State. And maybe it just doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. And then come back here, get good NIL money, get to live in a great city, go party with their friends, but play meaningful football. So,
but I am glad that they did not play Austin tonight. I would rather him be used in games that are going to be more meaningful. Because right now, I mean, I think you've got a plan. I think you've got a plan for the guy to have. You're going to play him 4 games. That's the target, and give him an opportunity to say, okay, I've got to play this guy every game. Because I see him much the same way as I saw Greg Ward and what's his name, Derek King, guys who were great high school quarterbacks who were undersized, but can contribute in a lot of different ways, whether it's returning punts, returning kicks, playing receiver, whatever they got to do. Or, you could come up with a crazy ass package with 3 quarterbacks on the field at one time.
Yeah, and I think
fun.
Is that legal?
Run the option with the 3 of them.
I think that going into spring next year, they need to have a fair competition, a fair and open competition between all quarterbacks, and just let it work out itself. I mean, if Austin is out there just looking better, I mean, well, I say that, but I know things are difficult with, when there's money involved and you bringing in a 5-star guy.
Right.
It's tough. It's tough. Austin's going to be in a tough spot, and he's going to really have to shine.
And then, I mean, if you're going to build a big program, you have to recruit over every person every year.
Yes.
And, you know, if they're recruiting over you, they're doing the right thing. So I think as a player, you have to accept that, and you have to be thrilled by that challenge.
And I think the thing that really pushes those upper level teams and those upper level players is that competition. They know that you're trying to replace them.
Yeah.
And then they're not going to back down from that. Okay, you bring in the next superstar. It's us. We're going to go to war, and I'm going to win that position.
Yeah, I'm going to go whoop your ass, and nothing you can do about it. And hey, I love Austin. He has been so good to us. He's such a good, level-headed guy. I am all for him going and figuring this out. You had to get Connor Wigman settled today. That was the game plan. You couldn't be throwing Austin out there in the third series or even Zion. You had to get Connor ready to go to lead this team. That was what had to happen. And I think if you put a freshman quarterback in their first game, most times it's not going to be pretty.
No.
So let him sit, let him marinate, let him watch and learn, because he's never experienced this as a college athlete. Star Pizza, Section 12X, the Ritz, get you some.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Ryan, did Wyckoff play center before he came to U of H? Agnello did. Yes, I believe Wyckoff played center. They're very comfortable with him there. Agnello played center at New Mexico, but he has fit in more at right guard here. I've seen him as like the third team center, but I don't think that's in the plan right now for him to play center. I think it seems like some of our best runs were with Wyckoff at center tonight. I'll be interested to go back and look at those series and see who had the best. So yeah. This is a question for Mike. Do players openly talk about their NIL in the locker room?
Yes and no. Obviously, you're not supposed to. And I mean, if you're close enough with someone, they might share that with you if it comes up open on the topic. So I would say more or less no. Now these things might be more public now with revenue sharing, but it was more or less a secretive thing, because people didn't want to share what they were getting, because some people weren't getting any money. And so I think the people that were getting money were told, hey, don't talk about this, and that's why I'm glad the revenue sharing is a thing, right? Before that, things were kind of very under the table. Some players were getting a lot of money and some weren't, and maybe some didn't deserve it and some did, but that's just how it was at some schools, and I think that's kind of how it was at Houston. And so I would say, I was a pretty trusted individual. I had a pretty good idea of what people were making and this and that, but it was definitely kind of something that wasn't openly talked about, to answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah, you would think they'd treat it like just being in an office.
Job. Yeah.
You don't sit around and nobody talks about their salary.
Right.
I've actually asked a couple players this over the last few weeks, just in one-on-one conversations, like, do y'all talk about this? And the consensus has been that no, we don't. There are a lot of players, a lot more players than people realize, that don't get any money, none, zero.
Right.
And that's across football too. That's not
football. I'm only talking about football.
No. It's
because obviously
other
in
schools
the
as well.
smaller
It's not
sports,
Yeah.
right? The big name people get the bulk of the money, and then it trickles down to where a lot of guys get nothing, and a lot of other guys get a very little amount.
Damn Starboy QBs are going to get all the money, and then everybody else just in for themselves.
Yeah. And
you go to the SEC schools, players are getting more money. Up and coming Big 12 school like Houston, they just have less, and it's a touchy subject. But with revenue sharing, I hope that things are end up getting a little more fair,
Right.
across the board.
And I think and not just U of H, but a lot of schools are still figuring this out. The revenue sharing, especially, because this is why you have a GM or a front office or whatever you want to call it, a personnel department. This is what they're supposed to be doing. And it's kind of a tricky thing. I don't think anybody really has the right answers, but it'll start shaking out over the next few years. Michael, what are the challenges of getting ready for a not so usual offense like Rice's new spread option?
I mean, it just goes back to the film study. It's definitely not easy. I used to have to prepare to play against Army when they were under center and doing that crazy offense. And you kind of have to, change your mindset on things. Open your mind to new play calls. You're usually going to have a totally new game plan, a totally new defense. And so you got to really be like a sponge that week and maybe spend a little extra time on your own or with your buddies watching film and really, understanding this new offense and kind of forgetting about the old ways of how things work out with, regular offenses for 1 week. It's actually very annoying. But good thing it's, this time, Rice, it's early in the year, get it out the way, and then boom, back to those regular offenses and doing the regular thing. But yeah, it just boils down just like just about anything else, getting in that film room. I would say a week like this is going to require a little extra work in the film room. And like I said, the coach is going to probably come up with a new game plan. So it's going to be a challenge, but nonetheless, we always get through it, and it's a fun challenge. So.
And it's right.
Okay.
Go beat him with a stick.
What's that?
I said, and it's Rice. Just go out and beat him with a stick.
Exactly. Just freaking let it loose. Shouldn't even be close.
Offense B, defense A+. I thought I was seeing A- on that, but it's A+. Okay, great game. Go Cougs. Does the team having an extra day to prepare for Rice change their schedule for the week? You've never had a situation like you have in these first 4 games with so many off Saturday opportunities here. So it's going to be different. And my guess is that they take the day off tomorrow. The coaches are going to just be in film for hours and then out recruiting tomorrow night. And then come back Saturday. They may take another day off, but maybe they had an extra day of preparing, and maybe it's just film. Batton, I can't remember if y'all played on a Thursday or Friday last week. I'm sure you did. Mike? Okay, well, there we go. I guess he did not like that question. Said out of here.
They played on Friday at TCU. They played on Friday in Arizona.
That's right. I forgot about Arizona. That was helpful because that was a horrible football trip. We have so many running backs drop. We have seen many running backs drop wide open dump offs. Nice to see the big fella with some hands. Not only with some good hands, but on the ball that Fat, which I'm struggling still to say, Fat is a name, but the play where Fat scored, he made a great cut. I mean, he made like receiver moves to get to the end zone.
Yep.
Fat. If Wigman is back next year, he's for sure starter over Henderson. Yes, Henderson would be a freshman. Wigman would be in his 14th year in college.
Well, I was wondering this though. Is Henderson okay with that? Is that what he's planning to do, or you see a guy like Bryce Underwood for Michigan come in, right? Start immediately.
I think the right thing to do is to say, Keyshawn, you have every opportunity to win this job. It's probably not going to happen. And it's probably not going to happen anywhere in the country you go that you want to play at. But you have every opportunity to win it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably the. I would think that is the kind of going thing with everybody. You're not nobody's penciled in as a starter. Nobody's job is secure. You fight it out in spring, and then you do it over the summer, and then we'll see what happens during the season.
Absolutely.
I mean, when I came here, I wasn't given a position.
No.
Yep.
And then you went to LSU and walked 9 guys, 3 innings.
No, I did that here.
Well, whatever. I was watching a documentary about the SEC the other day, SEC through the years, and Pat Dye said to Bo Jackson, "We're going to give you every opportunity to win the running back job," in the early 80s at Auburn. And Bo wanted to go to Alabama, but they wouldn't let him play running back. Bo Jackson.
Where was he going to play?
DN, linebacker.
He's gonna play defense, and it's like, what are you looking at? And this was
still
right
hands
after
down the
Bear
best
Bryant
athlete.
retired.
The best
sure.
athlete I've ever seen
For sure.
do anything.
Yes.
Nobody ever like him.
No. But yeah, you can. And I mean, they did that to Andre Ware. Texas told him he couldn't play quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, you can come to college and play anywhere you want until we find out you're not good enough. And then you need to go here. But yeah, you can play anywhere. We'll get you ready to play anywhere you want to play. Bo Jackson, you want to run the ball? Okay. You want to play baseball? Sure. Keyshawn plays on TV tomorrow night. We have that game covered. We've got 2 guys going out to cover the game. They're going to talk to Keyshawn. They're going to talk to Michael Bishop after the game. Very excited about that. This is the dumbest question I've ever heard asked, but I love it. Michael, how much do players pay attention to post-game shows?
Probably not too much. I think it's more for the fans, and but when they cut up some clips and they put it on Twitter and they see those, they definitely pay attention to that.
Players, if you're watching, if you're paying attention, get a life. Find a girlfriend or a dog like Sly. Get a life. Do not pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, I usually wouldn't be watching this after.
No, why would you?
I'd be at
I
a
didn't
certain
start
somewhere.
watching these things until we started doing them.
It's for the fans, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Texas Football Channel. I don't know what that amount is, but I like it.
€2.
Yeah. So we had to switch over all of our servers and stuff for our website recently. And I was looking at the old website and they were charging me in euros. And I was having to pay a fee to convert that at my bank.
Really?
Yeah. So my dumbass, who knows how much I lost? Millions. Probably what Batton made in a year on NIL.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My dreams.
Yeah. Mine too, buddy. All right. Let's wrap this up. I feel like we have done SFA a good deal here with an hour and 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
Mike, give us your final thoughts.
My final thoughts. Defense is primed and ready for another great year. I'm excited and proud what this DC has done in the short amount of time that he's had, and with the amount of new players that's came in, and I'm excited and proud to see some of my former teammates leading this team and dominating in every aspect. I was very impressed with special teams. I think we took care of the ball well, which is very important. I was impressed with Connor as a whole. 15 for 26, I want to say 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's a solid game to me. And
Yeah.
I think he's only going to build from there. I think that tight end is pro ready and is going to go in the first round. I think that was such a huge pickup by Coach Fritz, and I'm just ecstatic about that. And, we need to improve the run game. I think that's something, it'll come. And we have a lot of talented running backs. Unfortunately, we lost one of our best, if not the best one, Rayshawn Stanford, and prayers up to him. But I think we look to improve that. We're going to be a dangerous team, and I'm praying for that to be the case.
Brad.
Win's a win. Celebrate every win we got. I mean, they like I said, we've only had 4 each of the last 2 years, so
Yeah.
we're a quarter of the way there. So get back in the film room, heal up, and there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room for improvement, but I saw some really good things that I really liked, and I can see this team doing some good things.
Yeah. We're going to say goodbye to Mike right now. We appreciate it, Batton. You were really good. This was awesome.
Thank you.
We will
Thank you, sir.
talk with you
Of course.
in a week.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Mike Batton.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
All right. Now we can do. They got good food and a show.
I'm gonna have to get like a robe.
Well, I was thinking we could get bow ties because it's a gentleman's club.
True, it is. It's very gentlemanlike.
And you could take that shirt through your. Did you stretch the neck hole? Is it working okay?
I don't want to artificially do it too much. It's a big giant tent of a shirt with a little bitty tiny. I mean, the neck hole's like that, man.
Yeah, like a sausage.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is how this schedule plays out early. You get an FCS game, your first one in like 5 years. 6. I think 2019 was the last time you played an FCS team.
Mm-hmm.
You get Rice. So you have 2 games where you can look at a lot of different people.
Yes.
You can play a lot of different combinations. And that's what you saw tonight. You can bitch about the offensive line, about the run game, about whatever. But what you were seeing was different people in different spots and trying it out. And you go and you watch the film and, okay, that did not work. That did not work. But this worked. That worked. And so that's how you're going to build this, because you just don't know, especially right now. So you use these first games to figure things out. You go to against Colorado on a Friday night here. And after that game, you got 2 weeks to make your moves, grow this team, build it into something. And I really think this is the schedule finally works out for you for the first time in a few years. I really was so impressed with Amari Thomas tonight. He had 3 great catches, a touchdown. He picked up 2 first downs. I am devastated for Rashawn Sanford. Man, that is such a good guy. And it sucks that this happened to him. So we saw him Monday. Our last time at practice was Monday. I had seen him Thursday, and I think he was fine. So those Saturday or Sunday, something happened. But you said he had surgery yesterday or today?
That's what the word is coming out of this.
Okay.
What you call it?
Yeah. You were solid in the kicking game tonight, which you didn't always see last year.
Okay.
You were
2 field goals right down the pipe.
perfect on the 2 field goals from Ethan Sanchez and Zach Yoakum. I think he kicked every ball through the end zone touchback. So that's pretty good. Liam had a solid day. He did have 2 punts, but that's okay. So I just think it was a really great way to start this out, and you're going to build on it, and things are going to work out for you. I think we're doing that in a respectful way.
Boom.
You all just do
Richie,
that.
Thank you.
Every night, every time we do this, if you all just figure that out.
Boom.
My guy, Jonathan Laredo, former student manager and grad ass for men's basketball, says players pay attention a lot, especially when Ryan is hosting.
Jesus Christ. Please don't do that.
Jonathan Laredo, brilliant young man, going places. I saw enough tonight. See y'all at the CFP. There you go. Laredo picking it up. Not to sound as if I'm a spoiled child, but should we be happy or even content with this win? Felt a lot of points were left on the board. Yes. And yet you should be very happy because last year you were 0-1. 2 years ago, you played a guy in a wheelchair, Frank Harris, was it Frank Harris? I can't even remember his name. Frank Wilson? Frank something. The kid from UTSA.
Yeah.
Whatever. And you barely scraped by that one. A win's a win's a win's a win. If your goal is to
it's better than get
to a bowl game,
better than getting our nuts
Ass
stomped by
blasted.
freaking
Yeah.
Texas State.
Texas State, UTSA, UNLV.
I mean, I understand the thought that but let's not be delusional. We are P4 in name only because this program has absolutely sucked for 6 years, basically 4 losing seasons in 6 years. So, I mean, I don't think we have much room to be looking down our nose at any win, no matter who it is. I mean, if this team fought me and beat me in the street, count that as a W, even as bad as I am. Take them where you can get them because they don't come around very often.
Really, not really understanding any of that was. Thank you, Frank Harris. I felt like Frank Harris was right, but man, I wasn't feeling great about it. Was the wind swirling in the stadium? Yes. Pre-game, it was wild. You see the flags blowing this way, but the wind was coming this way, and I couldn't process it. In the pre-game, when they were kicking down on this end, the SFA guys were missing everything right, and U of H guys kind of were kicking it well, but the punting was not great. Going the other way, the punting was great, and then the misses were all right. So it was kind of goofy.
Well, I mean, I make excellent points all the time. Whether anybody agrees with it or not, they're all excellent.
Mm-hmm. We've been irrelevant since 2016. I don't think that's true. I think 2018, you were kind of starting to build something before De'Aaron went down. But you haven't been relevant in at least 5 or 6 years. You haven't. The games you've won to open a season have been UTSA twice. You did tripled overtime, San Antonio, and then you beat them 17-13 here.
I mean,
Just not good.
think of it this way: in the Dana years, we had a 4-win season, a 3-win season, 3 out of 8, and then what was it? 10, 11?
11. I got corrected the other day. 11 wins.
11 wins against the worst schedule in U of H history.
Or excuse me, 12 wins.
I mean, nobody was
Okay.
nobody was poo-pooing those shitty teams.
Right.
Um,
Now nobody went crazy on that 2021 team either. That, I mean, people understood what it was.
yeah, and then 8 wins, and then 4 wins, and then
four
last
more.
year 4 wins. I mean, you know, it's been bleak. I mean, we do remember, some of us who have been around for a long time remember the glory days of the 70s and some of the 80s. But by and large, it's been a lot of up and down. And, you know, been a long time since we had 3 great years back to back, or 3 out of 4 great years back when Keenan was here.
Yeah.
Savor the wins. I mean, we only play 12 games. We're only guaranteed 12 games. So every win we get, let's be happy.
There's a cooler, a refrigerator here in the suite, and it has absolutely nothing in it. There's nothing in it. But a woman just came in to lock it to make sure I didn't take the nothing. So shout out to her.
I would do
your
the same
page for
thing.
locking.
I wouldn't
locking
want
this
you
thing up.
eyeballing it.
Yeah, I'm not looking at that at all anymore because there's nothing in it. All right, thank you so much for watching.
Everybody, be on the lookout. Section 12X has something cooking. So check him out on social media. Keep an eye on that.
I don't know what this is. That's exciting.
See, some things are cooking. So
Star Pizza is going to get you your food.
Make sure your cards are all charged up and ready to go. You might see some things that interest you.
I like things that interest me. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you. You have been so good to us, and we're going to keep it going. We'll be back Sunday night with a new Talking About Them Cougars, and then we'll be back at Rice for the Bayou Bucket 9 days from now. Thank you so much for watching. GoCoogs.com, CougFans.com, Star Pizza, Section 12X, and the Ritz. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye, buddy.